Welcome back to the channel. Let's take a look at this PowerPoint presentation regarding systematic random sampling. Let's define what systematic random sampling is, and then we can move right into our topic. What is systematic random sampling? It is a probability sampling technique where elements are selected from an ordered population or group of things at regular intervals. It is a simpler alternative to simple random sampling and ensures even coverage of the population, or again listing of items. So it works by firstly defining the population or the grouping of listing of items. So you'll identify the total number of elements which will be represented by within the formula n, right, uppercase n. Then you will determine the sample size, and this is you deciding how many elements, which is the lower n, you need in your sample. So to calculate this, we need to establish the formula, and the formula really is to calculate at intervals. So you have k equal uppercase n divided by the lowercase n, right? So the total amount is at the top, which is the numerator, and the 1,000 persons, and you want to derive, let's say, 100 people to be surveyed. You will then use intervals of 10. So initiating the systematic random sampling, in the starting point you will have to start between 1 and the kth number, whatever number it is that you're going to be using right throughout as the interval. You will start with between 1 and that number. Thereafter, selecting that number, then you'll count the amount of places up that you'll be using that number as. So if you're going to have the intervals of 7, you can start between 1 and 7. So you could start at 5, but then you'll have to count 7 places upwards every time thereafter, and that's the basic from. So if you're operating a factory and you have items that are mass produced and you'd like to know what the quality is like, you could employ this technique. Likewise, if you'd like to pull a survey from, let us say, a student school population, you could also employ this technique. If you want to even employ it within the wider population of a nation, you could also use this technique, right? So it's very useful. The disadvantages in the systematic random sampling is that if there is a underlying pattern in the population, it may introduce bias, right? It's not completely random after the first selection. So the first selection is random between the 1 and the kth number. However, thereafter it's going to follow a steady pattern going up. And this is just a brief review of the systematic random sampling technique that is used within probability and statistics. If you found this video to be useful, then you may go ahead and subscribe and follow for more.